गिरिधारी शिष्य राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशिमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशिमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु महाभगवत श्री गोरक्षदास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। नित्यालप विश्व शुद्ध सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। श्री रूपानु गौरी गुरु वार्ग की जाय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम जय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल कोरमंडल ब्रजमंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जाय। सर्व अभीष्ट प्रदात गिरिराज महाराज की जाय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जाय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जाय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाय की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद जय। श्री चैतन्य शिक्षाष्टक की जय। श्री सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि की जय। जय श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर भजन-rahasya की जय। जय श्री कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी चैतन्य चरितमृत की जय। श्री रूप गोस्वामी भक्ति रसमित सिंधु की जय। जय श्री जय श्री निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि वो। We will do the Mangala Charan and then begin. Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Tividito Koriya Gurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Maya Varati Mingilo Daragatan Udrita Jiva Niman Krishna Prema Sudabdi Gahana Sukam Pradat Prabhung Tang Bhaje Vande Bhakti Vinodang Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhim Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Vrishabhanusutanvitavamattanum Yamuna Tatanagaranandasutam Murali Kalagita Vinoraparang Bhajago Drumakanana Kunjavidum Smaragoragadadara Kelikalam Bhavagoragadadara Pakshachara Shenugoragadadara Charukatang Bhajago Drumakanana Kunjavidum Tavai Vasmi Na Jivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Devi Tvam Nayamam Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshai Kshiptashtakamaदितराङ्गमध्ये Kripamai Tvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Saruparaya Sangha Harsha Shesha Ghoshanam Shikshanashtakakya Krishna Kirtanaika Poshanam Prema Nama Matra Vishvajivanaika Sambharam Prema Dhama Devam Eva Nomi Gaura Sundaram Premorbhavitahर्षेर्योद्वेगदैन्यर्तिमिश्रितं लपितं गौरचन्द्रस्य भाग्यवद्भिर्निषेव्यते प्रभुर्शिक्षाष्टक जय पोरे शुने कृष्णे प्रेम bhakti tar bare dine dine. Whoever reads or hears the Lord's Shikshashtaka verses will find their prem bhakti to Krishna growing more and more each day. Jai Śrī Śikṣāṣṭaka ki jai. Let's go through. We're going to make this a daily thing now. Here. Bhajana-rahasya 10. This is verse quoted in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Srila Rupa Goswami. Tam nirvyajam bhajagunanidhim pavanam pavananam Shraddharajan matiratitaram uttama shlokamolim prodyan anta karanakuhare hantayannama bhanor abhasopi kshapayati mahapataka dvantara rashim. So without any duplicity, without any deceit, worship, bhaja, worship, that's nirvyajam. Nirvyajam, bhajatang, worship him. That Krishna, who is gunanidhim, who is a reservoir of divine qualities, who is the supreme purifier among all purifiers. Bhaja, worship him atitaram, wholeheartedly, with your minds completely, with your minds, we saw in Srila Prabhupada's translation of this where he said enlivened, or colored, or imbued with shraddha, with firm faith. Yes, just worship that gunanidhim, that pavanam pavananam, that uttama shloka molam, that the foremost of those who are glorified with the choicest verses. When even an abhas, the faintest dawn, api means even, when even an Abbas and of the faintest dawn of the sun of his name, Yanama Bhanu, Bhanu means sun, when that prodyan, when that arises within the cave, Kuhari means within the cave or within the depths of Antakarana, within one's heart, or, inside one, then Kshapayati. It destroys the dense darkness, the mass of darkness of the greatest sins, the most grievous sins. Destroys even the greatest sins you can possibly think of. Just the slight dim glow reflect. Sorry, the slightest dawning of that name will destroy that darkness. That Namabhas. That's even just the power of Namabhas. So starting from the beginning, first on the stage with Shraddha, right? That's the first stage. It's first eternal thing that will, the first thing about our nature that develops within us that will stay permanently. The first glimpse of our nature is that Shraddha. And in that very beginning stage, our chanting is Namabhas, and that Abhas, even that Abhas, will destroy all this darkness. Parama Pavana Krishna Tahar Charan Nishkapata Shraddha Saha Koroho Bhajan Jar Nama Surya Bhas Antare Praveshi Dhwangsa Kore Mahapap Andakar Rashi. Krishna is supremely purifying. Worship his feet with sincere, guileless faith. His name's sun-like effulgence, entering within the heart, destroys grievous sins, that mass of darkness. E Shikṣāṣṭake kohe Krishna lila kram, ihate bhajana krame lilar udgam. This Shikṣāṣṭaka tells of the sequence of Krishna's pastimes. In it, through the systematic practice of bhajan, the Lord's pastimes awaken. Pratame pratama shlok, bhajo kichu din, dvitiya shlokete tabe hoto praveen. First, engage with the first verse for some days. Then, in the second verse, you'll become proficient in the second verse. Chari shloke kramasha bhajana pakva koro, panchama shloke te nija siddha deha varo. Through 4 verses, the first 4 verses, gradually bring your devotional practice, your bhajan, to maturity. In the 5th verse, Ainanda tanuja kinkaram, embrace your own spiritual body, your siddha deha. Oishloke siddha dehe radha padashray, aramba koriyakrame unnati uday. In that verse, having begun to take shelter of Radha's feet with your spiritual body, advancement gradually arises. Choy shloka bhajite anartha dure gelo, tobe jano siddha dehe adhikara hoilo. By practicing according to this 6th verse, Nayanam Galara Shudharaya, then unwanted worldly attachments, anarthas, go far away. Then know that eligibility for the spiritual body has been achieved. Right? So that's the 5th verse is the stage of ruchi, and the 6th verse is a stage of asakti, this nayanam galara ashudharaya. And it's at that stage of asakti when you gain the eligibility for your spiritual body. Adhikar na labhiya siddha deha bhave, viparyay buddhi janme shaktir abhave. Without attaining true eligibility, if one contemplates the spiritual body, a contrary or mistaken intelligence is born, a viparyaya buddhi, from a lack of spiritual strength, shaktir abhave. Savadhane kram dhoro jadi siddhi chao, sadhur charita dekhi shuddha buddhi pao. Therefore, carefully Savadhane, very carefully, follow this progressive path if you desire siddhi, if you desire spiritual perfection. By observing the character of saintly persons, you will attain pure intelligence. Actually, he's not saying you will attain, he's saying attain that. It's an order. Shuddha buddhi pao. Siddha deha pe krame bhajana korile. Ashtakala seva sukha anayase mile. Having obtained the spiritual body and performing devotional practice in sequence, the joy of service throughout the 8 periods of the day, Ashtakala seva, is effortlessly attained. Shikṣāṣṭaka chinta koro smarana kirtan, krame ashtakala seva habe udipan. Contemplate the Shikṣāṣṭaka. Perform remembrance, smaran, and chanting and kirtan. Gradually, service throughout the 8 periods of the day will be awakened. Sakala anartha jabe pabe prem dhan, chaturvarga phalgu pray habe adarshan. All unwanted attachments will depart, and you will obtain the treasure of divine love, prem dhan. The 4 aims of mundane life will then seem insignificant and disappear from sight. So this is our Siddha Pranali. Jai Śrī Śikṣāṣṭaka Jai. Okay, so now let's recite the verses of Śikṣāṣṭaka. Where is it? Here. Ceto-darpaṇa Marjanam bhavamaha tavagni nirvapanam Shreyakairava chandrika vitaranam Vedyavadu jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam Purnamrita swadanam Sarvatma snapanam parang vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smarane Nakala Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishamiha Janinanuraga Trinarapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Na dhanam na janam na sundaring Kavitam va jagarishakamaye Mama janmani janmanishvare Bhavatar bhaktir ahaituki tvayi Ainandatanu kinkaram Patitang ma vishame bhavam buddho Kripaya tava para pankaja Stita dhuli sadrisham vichintaya Nayanam galarashudharaya Vadanam gadgadarudaya gira Pulakarnichitam vapukada Tava nama grahane bhavishyati Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravrishayitam Shunyaitam jagat sarvam Govinda virahena me Ashlishavapararatang pinashtunmam Adarshanan marma hatam korotuva Yatha tatha va vidadhatu lampato Mat prananatastu sa eva na para. Jai Śrī Śikṣāṣṭaka ki jai. Okay, just seeing everybody who's here. Dandavat pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Nitai Mukeshji, Rukmini Didi, Brian, Chatamai Mataji, Gargaraj ji, Ganga Mataji, Shripad Bhaktiranta Sajan Maharaj, Dandavat pranams Maharaj. And all the other devotees. I'm guessing Indira Mataji is there. Revati Didi will be watching in the future. Shachi Devi, Jai Dev Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams. Oh, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams. And all the other devotees, if you write a comment, I'll see your name. All right, so we are continuing our very slow program of going through Shikshashtakam. Hari bolo, hari bolo. Okay, hari bolo. Rohini Nandan. Yeah, so I mean, I say this all the time, but I just like to continue saying it. But these programs, I'm um, this is I haven't read this on my own. I'm just going live and studying and making it public. And so this is a very informal program. I'm not teaching anything. I'm trying to learn publicly. And so if there's ever anything at any points that you want to share, please don't hesitate. I'm not giving a class here. And so um, yeah, we're going through Bhajana-rahasya. And as I'm just mentioning one more time, but that this program, I'm seeing it as it's it's like a sadhan, right? Every day we should be reciting Shikshashtak because that's our process, Harinam and Shikshashtak. And so the longer we do this program, the better, because then it will become a habit, going through Shikshashtak every day. And then maybe when we're finished with this program, I'm hoping that it'll be such a strong habit that I'll just continue doing it. It'll become like, yeah. So in Bhajana-rahasya, Pratam Yam Sadhan, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he offers pranam to Sachinandan Gaur Hari. That verse, Krishna Varnam Tuisa Krishnam, Mahaprabhu came with his Angas Upangas Astra Parshad and this Astra of Harinam. How do we worship Mahaprabhu? Through this Nam Sankirtan Yagya. That's the way we worship him, the intelligent, those who are Sumedha. And then this verse from Raghunath Das Goswami's Swanya, what is it? The Sachi Sunvashtakam, how Mahaprabhu instructed all of his Gaudiya devotees to chant a fixed number of Harinam. So then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he gives different verses from places describing the glories of Harinam, how everything that's obtained in Satya Yuga through meditation is attained in Kali Yuga by performing Govinda Kirtan, how this Nam can destroy more pop than the most poppy person can commit, more sin than the most sinful person can commit. And how this kirtan is superior to smaran, because smaran is very difficult to control the mind, fix it, and remembering it requires so much effort. But with Harinam, all you have to do is move your lips, and then it's performed. And so um, this, and then from that kirtan, smaran automatically arises. And then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the Bengali verses says that smaran in kirtan is far superior to archan. Then he gives a Sanskrit verse that says, after performing archan perfectly to Vasudeva for 100 lifetimes, then one has the fortune to be able to chant Harinam. And so right now we've been giving this Harinam and we're chanting. This is the result of having this opportunity is the result of having performed archan to Vasudeva for 100 births. And then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives a bunch of Bengali verses explaining how the 8 pairs of names relates to the 8 verses of Shikshashtak and to the gradual rising, like the first pair of names, the meaning of the first Hare Krishna for the sadhak, for the, is the destroying ignorance and Shraddha arising within the heart. And then, and each pair of names is, it's a gradual progression all the way till we reach Prem. And then so it goes from Shraddha, Sadhu, Sangha, Bhajana, Kriya. And then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives that verse from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Adao, Shraddha, Tatha, Sadhu, Sangha, Bhajana, Kriya, all the sequence up to Prem. And then through Bengali verses, he explains how when he explains the process in more, he makes it a bit more clear, it's not just Shraddha Sangha Bhajana Kriya, but he says that first there's accumulation of bhakti mula sukriti, he says. That's pious merits that are related to bhakti. And then from that, then eventually Shraddha will come. And that's why you'll see just a random person on the street who has had no contact with devotees, but then all of a sudden, as soon as they hear just the first thing about Krishna, all of a sudden, like all this faith arises in them. They want to take shelter and they become devotees. Oh, well, how did that happen? It was because of bhakti mula sukriti. It was in their previous lifetimes. They had all this sukriti built up, and then it got to the point where they're ready, and then as soon as they'd hear anything, then immediately Shraddha would come. So that's, and so he explains that whole sequence in a lot more of a clear way. Um, and he says, but be careful, because at any stage, even if you get to a very high level of advancement, if you fall into bad association, then you'll fall down from that high status. Of course, whenever you come back to bhakti, you'll be where you were before, but who knows how long it will take before you come back. So be very careful. It's better to be burned by fire or imprisoned in a cage. He gives that verse. He gives another verse. It says, or it is better to embrace a snake, a tiger, or alligator than to fall into bad association. By all these things, yeah, you'll lose your life. You'll have to take birth again, but you'll come back quickly. But if you fall into bad association, especially if you make offenses in bad association, who knows how many lifetimes it will take until you come back to the path of bhakti. So be very careful. Don't lose. Yeah. And then he goes through the verses that we just recited after our Mangala Charan, the power of Namabhas. And yeah. And so he starts with that verse, and then he and we already went through all those verses. I read the translations of all of them. And then he begins Ceto-darpaṇa Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Chandrika, the first verse of Śrī Śikṣāṣṭaka. And so yesterday we went through Ceto-darpaṇa Marjanam, and then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he took verses from all different places to illuminate this Ceto-darpaṇa Marjanam. And I don't think we didn't even finish Ceto-darpaṇa Marjanam. So today we'll go through that and we'll see how far we go. Haribo Vidilala Sadidi. Okay. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says, after this Śikṣāṣṭaka verse, he gives this verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sankirtana hoite pap, sangsar nashan, chitta shuddhi sarva bhakti sadhan urgam, Krishna premorgam, premamrita asvadan, Krishna prapti sevamrite sevamrita samudre majan. So this is everything that's contained within this verse, Ceto-darpaṇa Marjanam, is explained here. So this Krishna Nam Sankirtan, from Sankirtan, by engaging in Krishna Nam Sankirtan, then all one's pap and one's bondage in sangsar will be destroyed. Chitta Shuddhi, the heart will become purified. And then the processes of sadhan bhakti will start to arise. One will develop shraddha, sadhusanga, bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti, all these different sadhans, all these different stages will start to arise. And then finally, Krishna premodgam, premamrita aswadan. Then Krishna prem will arise, love for Krishna will arise, and one will relish the nectar of that prem, the amrita, premamrita ashvadan. And once you relish this prem, then you've attained Krishna prapti. And you will you will become completely immersed, drowned in the ocean, the samudra of sevamrita, of service. That means Vastu Siddhi, right? You've now taken birth in Krishna's pastimes and you are engaged in direct service to Krishna. So you become immersed in the ocean of Sevamrita after relishing Premamrita. So now Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining the first, Ceto-darpaṇa Marjanam. How does he explain it? So as we mentioned yesterday, he starts with the glories of the ultimate way to clean the mirror of the heart. He gives this verse by Srila Rupa Goswami from Rupa Goswami's Namashtaka, verse 7. Sudita Shrita Janarti Rashaye Ramyachir Ghana Sukha Swarupine Nama Gokula Mahotsavayate Krishna Purna Vapushe Namo Namaha. Okay, and then let's see. Actually, I want to, we translated, let me just open this up. We're going to include the Krishna Namashtaka in the songbook. Let me just find, here it is, Namashtaka. Here. So nobody's seen these translations yet. They haven't been published. But yeah, this is what you'll see in the songbook. I made like a little overview of all the verses. So Nam is worshipped by the Upanishads and liberated sages. Shri Nam, sung by the sages, the bestower of bliss and destroyer of suffering. The son of Nam swallows darkness and bestows transcendental vision. Nam destroys one's prarabdha karma. May my love for Nam's many forms always increase. The name of the Lord is more merciful than his direct form. Shri Nam, the destroyer of suffering, the festival of Gokul. Although Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur here is really highlighting this point, how it's Ramya Chir Ghana Sukha Swarup. It is the concentrated transcendental bliss and knowledge, the embodiment of that. So maybe I should put that in the thing here. Anyways, and then it is the life of Narad's Vina. So that's like the Namashtak, the topics in Namashtak that I highlighted. Let's go through this 7th verse here. Okay. And remember, the context here is how it is Ceto-darpaṇa Marjanam. This is the ultimate means to cleanse the mirror of the heart. One second, let me just fix this. Okay. So everything here except for Gokula Mahotsava is all in the Sambodhan case. That means the vocative. So it's saying, oh, you, oh, this, oh, that. So, Suditashaya Janarti Rashaye. Oh, destroyer, Sudita. Like we say, Nisudhan, Kamsa Nisudhana, the destroyer of Kamsa. So it's the same word, right? Except there's not a ni. So Sudita, the destroyer of the Arti Rashaye, the copious sufferings, the massive amount of sufferings for those who have, for the Ashrita Jan, for those who have taken shelter of you. O embodiment, O Swarup, you are the very Swarup of delightful. Ramya means delightful. Condensed, Ghana means condensed. Chid, transcendental bliss. Sukha, Chid Sukha, transcendental happiness. Ramya Chid Ghana Sukha Swarupine. O embodiment of delightful, condensed, transcendental bliss. O great festival for the residents of Gokul. O Gokula Mahotsava. O Nam. O Krishna. O fullest form of divinity, Purna Vapu. Namo Nama. I offer pranam to you time and again. Huh. Anyways, I don't know Sanskrit well enough, but I think this Purna Vapushe and Gokula Mahotsava are both in the dative case, which means I offer pranams to the festival of Gokul, and I offer pranams to the fullest form of divinity. Right? Krishna is the complete form of divinity. Like he is, there are qualities in Krishna that are exist in not even in any of his incarnation, in any of his manifestations. Right? Like they're the four madhuris, extra madhuris, right? Anyways, so let's look at this song that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote on this verse. He says, O he Hari Nama Tava Mahima Apara Tava Pade Nati Ami Kori Bar Bara. O name of Hari, your glories are beyond measure. I offer my obeisances at your feet time and again. Gokulera Mahotsava Ananda Sagara. You are the Gokul Mahotsav. You are the festival of Gokul. And you are Ananda Sagar. You are the very ocean of bliss. Tomar charane pori hoya katar. I collapse at your feet. Tomar charane pori hoya katar. In great anguish, I'm falling at your feet, O Harinam. Tumi Krishna Purna Vapu Raser Nidan. Tumi Krishna, you are Krishna. You are the full. And oh wait, this is I should fix this translation. It should be you are the full form, complete form. How do we translate it here? The fullest form of divinity. Hmm, interesting. Yeah, so maybe I make it that you're the fullest form of divinity, or I don't know. I have to think of how to translate Purnavapu. And you are the perfect abode of love. You're Rasir Nidan. I fall at your feet and sing your praises. Tava pade pori, tava guna korigan. Je kore tomara pade ekanta ashray. So that person, Je kore, um, kore here goes with the word ashray. That person who takes exclusive shelter, ekanta ashray, exclusive shelter of your feet, tomar pade, tar arti rashi. So the massive heap of that person's suffering, nash, will be destroyed. Nash koro, no, you destroy it. Nishchoy, certainly. You certainly destroy that person's um, entire massive suffering. So that's Ceto-darpaṇa Marjanam, right? Krishna's name is what does the Ceto-darpaṇa Marjanam. And so, oh, Harinam, right? This song is being addressed to Harinam. Oh, hey, Harinam. Oh, name of Hari. Everything in here is to the names of Hari. So you cleanse the heart. You cleanse the mirror of the heart. You destroy all the suffering of one who takes exclusive shelter of you. Sarva aparad tumi nasha korotar. You eradicate all of his offenses, even his offenses to your holy name. Nama aparada badi nasha hotahar. So how do you destroy Nam aparad? Through Nam itself. So you even destroy offenses to your name. Sarva dosha dhauta kori tahara hriday singhasane vaisho tumi parama ashray. So sarva dosha dhauta kori. Dhauta means cleansing, right? It says purging here. I just want to see dhauta. Pretty sure dhauta means cleansing. Dhauta. Oops, went wrong. Yes, washed, cleaned white. I'm going to change that because purging, I like this Ceto-darpaṇa, the Marjanam thing, the cleaning, dhota. So cleaning him of all his faults, washing away all his faults. Tahar hriday singha, you establish your throne um, in his heart, and there you sit. Well, it doesn't say he establishes a heart. It just says, then you sit on the throne of that person's heart. Tumi param ashray. And this, you are the supreme refuge. So, having cleansed that person's, all those person's faults, then you sit on the throne of that person's heart, and you are the supreme refuge. Atiramya Chirghana Ananda Murtiman. You're the Surup, you are the Murtiman, you are the embodiment of Atiramya, of exceedingly delightful, Chirghana Ananda, of transcendental, condensed Ananda, happiness. Or it has Chit and Ananda. So knowledge and bliss, right? Sat Chit Ananda, condensed. Sat Chit, Chit Ananda. Rasovai saboli veda kore tu agan. Rasovaisa, he is Ras. Say the Vedas as they sing your praise. Right? In the Vedas, we see all these Aham Brahmasmi, Sarva Kalavidam Brahma, Tattvam Asi, all these like what's the Advaitins say is the Mahavakyas, but that it's not the Mahavakyas. There isn't anything that's like the four main. That's just what they say. But what about Rasovaisa? That's also from. Is that from the Upanishads? I think that's from the Upanishads. He is a Ras. He is the embodiment. He is Akila Rasamrita Murti. Say the Vedas as they sing your praise. Bhakti Vinod, Bhakti Vinoda Rupa Goswami Charane. So Bhakti Vinod begs incessantly at the feet of Rupa Goswami. Magaye Sarvada Nam Spurti Sarva Khane. So at the feet of Rupa Goswami Charane, Magaye, this Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Magaye, he begs that Sarvada, that at every moment, always, Nam Spurti, that the spurti, the appearance of name, the name will happen all the time. Sarvakane. Oh, sorry. So Magaye Sarvada means he's always begging. What is he always begging? That the name at every moment, Sarvakanu, at every moment will spurti, will how do you translate spurti? Will manifest. Such a beautiful song, huh? All right. So then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he also gives a short explanation of this verse here. Where is it? He has a short version of the song. So, Ashrita Janer Sava Artanasha Kori. So those who have taken shelter of you, O Harinam, you destroy their arti, their suffering. Atiramya Chirghana Swarupe Vihari. You revel in your Swarup, which is full of exceedingly delightful, condensed spiritual happiness. Anyways, yeah, okay. That might have not been a perfect translation. Then Gokuler Mahotsava Krishna Punarupa. You are the very full form. Your form of Krishna is the complete, your complete form. Purna Rup, right? With the four Madhuris. This Rup Madhuri, Venu Madhuri, Prem Madhuri. What is the other one? Did I say Venu Madhuri? Anyways, these four, Krishna's form is the full, complete form. And that form is the festival of Gokul, Gokuler Mahotsav. So, Heno Nam Nami Prem Pai Aparup. So, such a name, I offer my obeisances. And when I do that, then I attain the extraordinary Prem, Aparup, unparalleled Prem. There's nothing, no form, no thing like it. Aparupa, it's Aparupa. And now this last verse here is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Nama Sankirtane hoy sarva nartanasha sarva shubhadoy Krishne premer ulas. So through this performance of Nam Sankirtan, Sarva nartanash. All anarthas are destroyed. Sarva shubhodoy. All auspiciousness arises. And one blossoms in the prem for Krishna. Or one delights in love for Krishna. Something like that. Okay, so wow, what a wonderful, juicy thing this is. We get to cleanse our heart with Ramya Chir Ghana Sukh, with the very embodiment of condensed happiness and delight and pure transcendence. That's what we get to use to clean our heart. So can there be any better cleaning method than this? Such a delightful cleaning method. Usually cleaning is not fun, but with our process, this cleaning process is also just full of bliss, full of delight. And so now let's look at other different cleaning processes. He's going to go through Ashtanga Yoga. He'll go through Gyan, Nishkam Karma, even Nishkam Karma, and then the path, and then again, you'll go through the path of Gyan again. So these are the three verses that show how much more effective and better is the cleaning process of Harinam than these other methods. So text 13 is, the path of Ashtanga Yoga is always full of fear. Srimad Bhagavatam 1:635 states, Yamadibir yoga patai kamal lobhato muhu mukunda sevaya yadvat tatadhatma nashamyati. The mind that is disturbed by the enemies of lust, anger, greed, and so forth does not become as subdued or peaceful by practicing yam and niyam on the path of Ashtanga Yoga as it does by performing service to Sri Mukunda, which brings it completely under control. The whole goal of the path of Ashtanga Yoga, as far as I understand it, is how does it go? The second sutra from the Yoga Sutras is, I think it's Chitta Vritti Nirodha. So that means to stop, to still all the chitta vrittis, all the functions and not functions and movements, and no, how do you translate vritti of the chitta, of the consciousness? So all the functions. That's like Ceto-darpaṇa Marjanam is the whole purpose of Ashtanga Yoga, so that you can fully cleanse your the mirror of your heart until you're just only established in yourself without any awareness, any connection with anything outside of yourself, with any of the senses, with any of the, you're just, even with any of the subtle things like your ego and all that, you completely clean it. That is the ultimate goal of yoga process. But even for doing that, it's not that effective. It's not the best way to do that, to even to get to that stage. Um, in the Yoga Sutra, it says it, ati dirga, like it takes an extremely long time, your entire life, without any break. You have to perform this yoga, and then you can get to the state. And it's very difficult. The yamas and niyamas and all the different things. It's very difficult. It takes more than an entire lifetime. It takes many lifetimes. Um, but you can attain all that just by performing service to Mukunda. And what's service to Mukunda? That means bhakti. And what is the main activity of bhakti? Like the topmost form of bhakti is kirtan. So Nam Sankirtan. So even through Nam Sankirtan, what's okay? Yamadi vir yoga patai kama loba hato muhu mukunda sevaya yadvat tatha dhatma nashamyati. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he gives this verse: Yoge shuddha kori chitte ekagraha kore bahustole, bahustale ekatar vyatikrama dhare. Ekagraha, doesn't that mean like make it? I just want to look up this word really quick. Means it in the oops, 1 second. Ekagraha means closely attentive, devoted to one pursuit. Okay, devoted to one pursuit, concentrated, engrossed, intent on, single pointed, fixed on one object. So ekagraha chitta means fully concentrated with exclusive devotion, deeply or closely attentive, deeply absorbed. So one who is deeply absorbed, one pointed focused in their practice of yoga, and thereby they cleanse their heart. That's what you do. Well, bahustoli ekatar vyatikram dhare. In many places, um, ekatar vyatikram, in many places it maintains that this process of yoga is vyatikram. I'm not sure if I'm understanding this Bengali correctly, actually. Vyatikram, oops. Sorry, guys, I'm taking vyati. Vyatikram means exception, anomaly, inverted order, reversion, deviation, variation, omission, default. I think it's saying deviation. Huh. Actually, I don't fully understand this, so I wanna look at this more carefully later on. Okay, so then in Srimad Bhagavatam, okay, so that was how much better Harinam is than I was actually just working on this yesterday. There's this song by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. What is it? I was just working on it yesterday, so I'll be able to open it up. Where is it? Oops. It was here. Open recent. Upadesh, second half. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, this is the beginning of Kalyana Kalpataru. There's 19 songs. We're including these all in the songbook. He goes through the path of, I think I might have shown this song before. Tirthe Sadarata. Where is it? Oops. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Oh, I think it's in the first part, the first half of Upadesh. New songs. Upadesh Upalabdhi. Upadesh first half. Here. Yogi. There it is. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, O minds, longing to become a yogi, you study the scriptures on yoga, the practice of restraints and observances, breathing exercises, and body postures. You have vowed to withdraw your senses from their objects, to meditate, to practice perseverance, and to achieve samadhi. But you say nothing of what the actual fruit of all this will be. You will dry up your body and mind and suspend your breath, imagining your soul to be one with Brahma. Upon attaining the 18 mystic perfections, you will forget the supreme goal of life and hanker for further opulence and powers. Relinquishing gross matter, you will enter the astral plane and yet again reap torment. The soul itself is eternal, pure wealth. The servant of Hari thus hankers for naught. He hankers for nothing. What benefit can the soul receive from yoga? Take shelter of bhakti yoga, and no fear shall remain in you. It will then be possible to taste the natural nectar of immortality. Bhaktivinoda's plea is this: give up aspiring for other yogic paths and engage in the worship of Radha and Krishna. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he writes a footnote in the first edition of Kalyana Kalpataru. And it takes up 4 pages. He explains in depth the whole process of Ashtanga Yoga. And then he says that yoga is of 3 types. There's Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. And it's only the Ashtanga Yoga that is being referred to in this kirtan. So so he goes through all the yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahara, dharana, dhyan, and samadhi. And then after all that, he says, upon examining the aforementioned yoga, its methods, and its results, it becomes apparent that the ultimate purpose of yoga is indeed Bhagavat Prem. But due to yoga's many difficulties and extraneous results, the jiva, while practicing it, may experience much distress. Therefore, the yoga of Bhakti Ras is the most beautiful in all respects. It is easily attainable and certainly all auspicious. A devotee has no need for Ashtanga Yoga. Just practicing some pranayam for bodily vigor is sufficient. Yeah, that's something interesting with yoga, like the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. It can be performed for people of different it's like uh people in different with different beliefs and different schools and different faiths. They can also practice yoga. It's not like so rigid, like this is what the goal of yoga is and this is the philosophy of yoga. It could be used by different people in different ways. And so ultimately the topmost goal of yoga is like the topmost perfection that one can try to strive for in yoga is devotion. But the process of yoga isn't Bhagavat Prem, actually. He says the ultimate purpose of yoga is indeed Bhagavat Prem. But yoga is not the most effective way of achieving that. And there's so many other temptations that happen along that you'll just get stuck at any stage. You'll become happy with all the mystic powers you get, and there's so many distractions. So um so therefore don't try to perform yoga. Vyatikram, it'll end up just deviating you. I think that's what it means here. Vyatikram here. That in many places there'll be vyatikram, there'll be deviations. You'll deviate from the path of attaining Bhagavat Prem. Yeah, that's what it means. See how helpful it is sometimes just looking at a different song and then it brings clarity. Um, okay, cool. Now, in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.12, Gyan and karma are condemned. Naishkarmyam apyachutta bhava varjitam nashobhate jnanam alang niranjanam kuta puna shashvar abhadramishvare na charpitam karma yadapyakaranam. Sadhan to obtain liberation has no beauty if it is devoid of devotion to Bhagavan, to Sri Bhagavan. How then, if even Gyan, then how it can't it has no beauty if it's devoid of bhakti? Then how can selfless action, how can nishkam karma, which is not offered to the Supreme Lord, and fruit of action, kama karma, which is always inauspicious in both its practice and perfection, be beautiful? And what is the so this is doing like this is giving comparison, right? That not even gyan, what to speak of nishkam karma or even karma, there's no beauty in that. And so, and the whole purpose of gyan is also like yoga is to cleanse oneself, to clean that mirror of the heart, right? So that there's no more impurities, that get rid of all sins, and so that you can understands that you're not all these material things. That's like the whole purpose of gyan. But even this Nam Sankirtan is What does it say? It's not, there's no beauty in it. Then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives this verse. Niranjana karmatita kabo jnana sushobhita shuddha bhakti vina nahi hoy swabhava abhadra karma hole o nishkama dharma krishnarpita noile shubhanoy krishnarpita noile shubhanoy. One second. Just Oh my God, it's already 8 o'clock. Ah, okay. Got it ends now. Um, okay, well, we'll stop here. I just want to find one. I'll just one. Okay. So this spotless knowledge, which is transcendental to karma, is never truly beautiful without bhakti, without pure bhakti, without shuddha bhakti. Actions which are by nature inauspicious. So karma, which is Swabhav, which its nature is abhadra, it's inauspicious. So, yeah, karma by nature is inauspicious. And even action which is done without desire, nishkam karma, even if it's performed as just a selfless duty, dharma means duty, right? It's not Krishnarpita, nahi shubha. No, there's no way that it will be shubha, auspicious, if it is not offered to Krishna. And then be nice to learn these verses also. At least this one would be nice to learn. Naishkamyam apachutta bhava varjitam alam niranjanam. I think I'm gonna do that again. If anybody wants to try to memorize this verse, I'll do it after Jaidvani. This will be a lot easier than the previous verse that we tried to memorize. So, okay, that's our program for today. I didn't make it very far. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. We've been given like now we've been spending so much time. We've been given so many beautiful prayers and glorifications of Harinam. Um, and I don't do this, but I'm thinking like it'd be really nice to just become really spend time and become really familiar with all these glorifications of Harinam, and then before I just grab, stick my hand in my bead bag first thing in the morning and like go out on a walk. Wouldn't it? I'm just imagining how powerful it would be if, like that song that we sang, Oh Hey Harinam Tava Mahima Apar, if you could just like sing that and make a prayer, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's own prayer and glorifications of Harinam. If we did that before we started chanting, how much more honor we would have for the chanting rather than, because I don't know, what I do is like after I finish my Anik after Mangalarti, I just stick my hand in my bead bag and then I go out on a walk and then my mind goes all over the place and I'm just walking around. I go on a walk because otherwise I'll fall asleep. I'll get tired. And so, but I'm just imagining it probably really like be such a powerful practice to before I put my hand in my bead bag to there's so many different prayers to like and maybe every day a different prayer so that it's not just it doesn't because that's whenever I do something daily, the same thing every day, then lots of times I go into autopilot mode. And so if we have many different prayers, many different verses of glorification, um, then every day you can do a different one and a different glory aspect of the glory of Nam. So I think I want to do that also. Like we've already memorized one verse, the verse about Namabas by from Rupa Goswami, and I want to keep on memorizing other verses like that. And I think that would be powerful. Yeah. All right. I'll just do a quick Jayadwani, and if anybody has anything they want to say, can mention. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Jai Shri Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Shri Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Swaparshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopigan Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Shikshashtaka Ki Jai, Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Jai Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Bhajana-rahasya Ki Jai. Jai Shri Krishna Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Jai Shri Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Vrindai Tulsi Devai, Priyai Keshavashacha, Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi, Sattvatai Namo Namaha, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhyaevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, Ndri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Nitai Mukeshji, Rukmini Didi, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Ashray Tattva Prabhu, Dandavat pranams. And on YouTube and Facebook, so many devotees, Gargaraj Ji, Ganga Mataji, Shripad Bhaktivedanta Sajan Maharaj, Dandavat pranams Maharaj, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, Vidyalala Siddhidi. Oh, and Jaidev Prabhu is there. Hari Bol, Jaidev Prabhu. And also pranams to all devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi and Revati Didi and everybody else. Dandavat pranams. Yeah, so is there any points anybody wants to mention? Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Ashray Tattva Rule. Yes.
The point that you made about reciting verse before beginning your chanting, japa. The temple that I grew up in Sydney, they read from a book which is a collection of old things Srila Prabhupada said about the holy names. It's called Sri Namamrita. So just right before we put a hand in the bead bag and begin chanting, they read a selection from there. One it'll be a purport or a paragraph or a verse, and each day it's different, as you said. And if you really listen to it, instead of just being perfunctory about it, and just if you really meditate on it, it really sets up, like you said, it sets up a nice meditation, something to grasp onto as you're chanting, because the tendency it's very easy to drift, for the mind to wander, and then before you know it, you've lost the momentum of the morning program. You've lost the momentum of the Mangalarti. You're just now splayed out. They do it here too at the temple that I'm staying at now, at New Govardhan, just before chanting. Same thing.
Well, the book is called, what did you say? It's called Namamrita, was it?
Yeah, Sri Namamrita. It's a compilation. It's a compilation of all things Srila Prabhupada said specifically related. It has different sections to it, 3 or 4 sections to it.
I'm checking this out. Cool. Nice. I think I'm going to get it. See it there on Amazon. Only 200 rupees. Cool. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, that's a really nice practice. I mean, I want to start trying to do that also. So I'm going to get that book. Only 200 rupees. Great. Thanks for sharing that, Prabhu. That's really nice. Yeah, I mean, like we always recite Sharira Vijajal before we take prasad so that we start eating without, like we understand the glories of the prasad that we're about to, like, and then we can start to honor it. And we should do the same thing with Harinam, right? Before we just start chanting out on it, like we should, yeah, take a moment to realize, oh, wow, this is none different from, so many glorifications of Nam, and have a little bit of like honor and respect for what we're doing rather than just getting the numbers done and just using just getting the numbers done and being able to think about whatever we want and not having any honor or respect. That's really important. Really
Because
important.
every time we chant japa, a session of japa, or every time we sit down to take prasadam, it's an opportunity, isn't it? What we make of that opportunity, that's up to us, but we can set up a good likelihood of taking deeper advantage of the opportunity by some form of meditation, some form of preparation, like
Yeah.
like they do in deity worship. You prepare you purify yourself before you purify all the articles, and there's a whole
Mm.
preparation you do before you engage in the actual puja. Then there's the manasa puja. We should do the same thing for the worshipful forms of prasadam and the holy names.
Yeah, and like you don't just walk into the temple and like the first thing you do when you walk into the temple and you're before Takoji is you offer obeisances. And when you offer obeisances, you have to make a prayer, and like that's the standard process. So when we're about to like when we're now Harinam's here, we're about to start Harinam, then yeah, we should just like we offer obeisances to Takoji, we should offer obeisances to Harinam with all these prayers. Yeah, it's otherwise, it's like kind of disrespectful. It's like neglectful almost, right? If you just walk into a temple and start singing Mangalarti or whatever without having actually offered some
Yeah, it
prayers
can
and some,
become they can become missed opportunities. Every
yeah,
day we do these things every day, and all they are is opportunities. But how much we can take the advantage of the opportunity to capitalize on the opportunity. Otherwise, it's a missed opportunity.
yeah, yes, nice point. Yeah. Ah, thank you for both. That was really nice. Very, very
Yeah,
nice things to contemplate also and thank you.
very well.
All right. All right. So if nobody has anything else to mention, then I'm going to end for today. And maybe I'll do the verse tomorrow because now it's a bit late. Yeah. And I think that I'm going to start this. This will be a new program. At the end of, after we do Jaidvani, then we can try for anybody who wants to stay extra time, then we can try to memorize a verse. I like that also because otherwise when I don't exercise my brain at all, then my brain gets really lazy. And yeah. All right. Oh, Vidilala Siddhi is saying, yeah, I was also thinking of reciting prayers glorifying Harinam before chanting. It's a powerful way to appreciate the holy name and help us chant in a more conscious and prayerful mood. Yes. Yes. All right. Dandavat pranams. See you all